Absolutely, no doubt about it. That Ballard shooting actually happened in this very parking lot. The worry about gunfire is real. We have seen multiple errant shots hit homes, hit buildings, go into windows. And tonight, now, an Auburn family telling me they never thought they'd be keeping a bedside vigil. Right now, tonight, they are demanding some change.
I want this all to end, this gun violence, like something really has got to change. People need to start listening because this is not fair for parents to have to go through this.
His son is here in the ICU, another shooting victim. He was shot 3 times in the face, back, and buttocks.
It's the worst thing in the world. Like, this is like every parent's worst fear. And you can't fathom it.
Derek says his 15-year-old crawled home, shot in his own Auburn neighborhood Saturday. They were walking to a lighted basketball court. It was 2 a.m. 2 people approached, asked a question, and left. Seconds later, Derek says this was captured on his neighbor's Ring camera. A string of shots, a pause, then this.
This one was horrible. It's just too frequent, and something needs to change.
It's happening on repeat, crime scenes with dozens of rounds fired. In Seattle alone last month, 41 shots fired here on Aurora. And then this frightening shooting captured on a surveillance camera, people shooting at an SUV near Aurora. The latest here in Ballard, a parking lot, multiple evidence markers scatter the parking lot. And multiple shots fired near Alki Beach in late June. 1 dead, 1 injured.
A bullet went through a guy's condo window.
A trend law enforcement can't seem to get the upper hand on.
164 spent casings on the ground. That is the result of rampant gun culture.
Interim Police Chief Sue Rahr acknowledging it during a community meeting, but insisting it will take everyone.
The accountability has to come back, and it's going to take a community.
It's not fair to us. It's not fair to the other people who have gone through situations like this, that have lost their kids.
Now, Crime Stoppers tells me the best way for the community to help is be the eyes and ears. If you see something, make sure you say something. And if you call Crime Stoppers, you can report anything anonymously. I want to also mention that 15-year-old, we are told he is expected to make a full recovery. Back to you.
Tonight, the family of an Auburn teen who was shot 3 times over the weekend is pleading for changes to end the gun violence that has hit their family and so many others across the region. That teen is now recovering in an ICU, and we've learned the sound of that shooting was captured on a Ring camera. Tonight, I talked with reporter Michelle Esteban about what happened.
Michelle, I know that you had a chance to talk with the family of this Auburn teen who was shot 3 times over the weekend. This was an emotional interview.
It really was. I spoke to his father on camera, also his mother, his auntie, girlfriend, brother. I mean, he's got a lot of support, but Dad was just beside himself. And, as any parent would be, he said to me, I never thought that I would be holding a bedside vigil for my kid. I never thought my kid would be shot. This is a good kid, loved by his teachers, loved by his friends, athlete, smart student, loves people, like not involved in any of the wrong crowds. Just was out trying to play basketball on a Saturday night late, which is something that he does. And before he knew it, he was woken up in the middle of the night by his kiddo who crawled home. He was shot in his own neighborhood, Steve.
And he is expected to survive?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just so amazing. So he was shot 3 times, once like right here in the bridge of his nose, and it ruptured his sinus cavity, and then it nicked his artery. Then he was shot in the back, and then he was shot in the buttocks, and the bullet went through his body and came out his thigh. And what I understand from his parents is, he may not need any surgeries. They're still waiting. He might have to have surgery on his leg, but they think it's going to be 6 months. And the big issue is the sinus cavity, that issue there. But, the thing that they talk to you about, and that it's so hard for parents to wrap their head around, is like how close they came. And the doctors are saying right here, a millimeter, right here, a centimeter. I mean, he really is lucky to be alive. So what happened is it was Saturday night. He was playing basketball in his driveway with his friends. They decided it's 2 a.m, it's dark. Let's walk down the street to the school where it's a lighted basketball court, and let's shoot some hoops. So as they're walking, they say that 2 other people approach them, ask them if they have mushrooms. They say that they don't. There isn't any accusations or anything else that really happens from that. They end up leaving, and then just a short time later, shots are fired. And as you know, the neighbor's Ring camera captured those shots. Dad said, it was just described to him. He has to build himself up to listening to it. But, we listened to it, and it's just rapid fire, pause, rapid fire.
Just so many gunshots. And as you are well aware, this is just the latest example of gun violence hitting Auburn and Seattle and so many other communities. We've reported on shootings from Aurora, Ballard, Alki, all that.
Right.
It's hard for police to sort of get an upper hand on this.
It really is. And it all comes down to really the fact that, police feel like they're outnumbered. And, I talked to Jim Fuda with Crime Stoppers. He's the executive director of Crime Stoppers Puget Sound. And he said, it's going to take 10 years really to get to the point where we get the amount of police that we need, which is why, and even with the staffing issues that SPD is facing, really what's paramount here is everybody playing a role. And you hear this a lot, and it's the talk about the community needs to be involved. And what we mean by that, and what Crime Stoppers means by that, is just really being the eyes and ears. Police can be working on a case, they can be 80% through that case, and they just need that 10%. It might be that one thing that you don't think is going to matter, but it really does. So really reinforcing calling, and then so many people afraid to call. So if you call Crime Stoppers, they work with 57 different police agencies. They're in 4 counties all over King County. They have a direct pipeline. So if you want to speak anonymously about something that you've seen or heard, you are encouraged to do that. And they really want to reinforce that, you will be protected.
Yeah. If you know something, say something, and it could make a difference with solving one of these cases. Michelle Esteban, thank you.
You're welcome, Steve. Thank you.
And if you have any information about any of those recent shootings, you can call Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound at 1-800-222-TIPS. You can also submit an anonymous tip through their app, which is P3 Tips.